101 review. Book 101 is all about the books that I've read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is a pastor, coach, and strategy, equipping men and leaders to live and lead with courage, integrity, and emotional intelligence, none other than Mr. Joshua Delp. Welcome, Mr. Joshua. Our book 101 interview. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss? Yes, so Mr. Joshua, can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Hey, sorry about that. I just had a little bit of
No worries at all.
technical
No.
difficulty on my end. It's
Mm-hmm.
saying I'm not being recorded.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's
So
not recorded. Okay.
yeah, it's saying you aren't being recorded. It looks like refreshing. It didn't help. So it's asking me to troubleshoot, and I can't fully view the screen right
Mm-hmm.
now.
So let's do the take two then. Okay, Mr. Joshua, music, please. I will just edit this one, but we're live already. So, hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I've read for the last 40 years, and today I have my special guest. He's a pastor, coach, and strategies equipping men, leaders to live and lead with courage, integrity, and emotional intelligence, and other than Mr. Joshua Delp.
It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Welcome, Mr. Joshua. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yeah, gosh. So where to begin, man? I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a follower of Jesus. I've been a pastor for the last decade. I've been passionate about leadership, helping people thrive and build what they're called to build. I believe everyone's made on purpose for a purpose. I believe God has made each of us to make an impact in this world, but things get in the way, whether it's the way we were raised, the sin and brokenness in our lives, or even our limiting beliefs, things get in the way. And so early on, I became very passionate about seeing people live the abundant life, seeing people thrive, and seeing people step into their God given purpose. And so, whether I'm pastoring, whether I'm just being your friend, whether I'm on a podcast, whether I'm building a business, whether I'm helping you market yours, everything I do is about honoring God and helping people build the lives that they're called to live. And so, that's what gets me out of bed in the morning, besides my wife and my two young children, because they keep you on your toes. So that's a bit about me, man.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Mr. Joshua. Thank you. And today let's talk about the leading from a healthy soul, how to stay effective without losing yourself. Let's start
Right.
with the central phrase, a healthy soul. In the context of leadership, what does that mean to you particularly?
Sure. So the reality is you can be doing everything right, working really hard, even doing very meaningful work. As a pastor, I believe that's very meaningful work. It's not more meaningful than a stay-at-home mom or someone who's farming or an accountant, but that was meaningful in my life. And so I found myself working hard and doing the right things, but I had burnout. And so you can mean well, you can work hard, and if you don't have the right things in place, if you don't have good foundations, good principles, and good support structure, more than that, if you're not self aware enough to know why you do what you do, your dysfunction, your unhealthy motivations in life can really get the best of you. And Jesus had this phrase, he said, "What good is it for you to gain the whole world and lose your soul?" And so you can be successful, but you can be successful in a way that you're just depleted at the end of a day. You're depleted at the end of a week. And if you're giving out more than your soul is receiving from what you do, I don't care if you're a multimillionaire. If you don't set the thing up right, it's not going to be sustainable. And the reality is, I see a lot of people compromising their soul, compromising their character, their values, and or leading in a way that is not sustainable. And so what happens? They don't lead well, or they blow up their endeavor, right? And so um, it's not just that you want to be successful. You want to be successful. You want to have integrity. You want to maintain health and good relationships over the long haul. If you have to sacrifice your family, your health, um, your value, or compromise your values in order to lead and achieve the results that you're trying to achieve, that's not leading from a healthy soul. And you know, I'm in America. Like that's what the thing is built on. It's like just get results at any. You know, honestly, that's what most of the world, the Western world, is like, who cares what it takes? Just get money. Just get success. And so, and it doesn't matter. You can be a pastor trying to honor God and build a church and still not be leading with a healthy soul. And so, you know what, man? I just want to see as many people, like I said before, I want to see as many people thrive. I want to see many people lead well, lead effectively, and not hurt their families or the ones that they love or the ones that they're leading. That's kind of a big part of why I do what I do.
How do you distinguish between leading from the ego and leading from the soul? What
Yeah,
are the tangible differences in behavior and outcome?
sure. I think that's a great question, first of all, because this is not easily, I like what you said. What are the tangible differences? And this is why a lot of the work I do is based in emotional intelligence, because a lot of this stuff is intangible, right? We're talking about ego, which is a psychological concept, and the soul, which is a spiritual concept. Those are intangibles. And so um, I'll give you a few things. One of the things that I do is I work with assessments, right? I try
Mhm.
to help folks see measurable assessment based results of what they do, i.e., the different behaviors and their motivators or mindsets. And bringing the intangible into something a bit more objective is a really great starting point. But I'm a pastor, I'm a man of faith, and so a lot of what I do is informed by my Christian worldview. And so, Jesus says, you'll know them by their fruit. And so when I look at a leader who's being driven by their ego, it's about what they can get rather than what they can give. Even and sometimes they're good at it. I'll give as long as it's actually building my thing. I think when you're leading out of ego, it's about building your dream, about building your vision, about building your organization. When you're leading from a healthy soul, I think it's the opposite. You're leading from a place of integrity. You're not trying to lead out of brokenness to prove yourself, to prove your worth. Just speaking from experience, that was my background. I had a very broken background. I didn't have a lot of very strong male role models. So I was trying to prove my worth through my success. And I think a lot of people can relate with that is like, I'm going to prove my worth. I'm going to make something of myself. But when you're operating out of an integrous place in your soul, you know your value and worth. So you're in a freer place to serve and give to humanity. And I think that's when you see someone who's really making a difference in the world and it's from a genuine place of benevolence and service, that can't be faked. You can fake charisma, you can build something with gift, but that deeper sense of character and integrity, I think those are some of the fruits that you'll see on a person's life. I will say also, I think when you lead from a healthy soul, you see more longevity. Um, the folks who are building out of ego, they're kind of they don't last. They can flash and be a flash in the pan. They can climb real high real fast sometimes, but that sustained ethic over the long term, I think that is some of the marks of leading from a healthy soul rather than ego. That's a great question.
An empowering answer, Mr. Joshua. For the skeptical leader who says, "My job is to deliver results, not to tend to my soul," what is your
Sure.
most compelling argument for why
Yeah.
this is a critical performance and sustainability issue?
Sure, I get that. And that's the reality is, you are, as a leader, you are responsible to deliver results. But the reality is that's actually not true. Um, you're responsible for results when you're at the worker level, when you're at the individual contributor level. Once you get into leadership, which usually occurs when you've been really good as an individual contributor, you're a star contributor, you're gifted, you've got work ethic, you get results, right? So you get promoted into leadership. It switches on you because now you're actually in a completely different job with a completely different skill set required. You are not responsible for results. You are responsible with getting results through other people. And if you are driven by ego, your leadership, the way you work through people, the way you influence people, the way you manage people, it will be a transactional. It will be agenda based. It would I would even say it could even be dehumanizing. And um, no one quits their company. They quit their bosses. And if you view people through what they can do for you rather than what you can do together and as a team, you're not gonna last, man. People won't work with you, and you'll actually get worse results because you'll have higher turnover. Unless you're in a just a power abusive power structure where folks can't leave or they don't want to, and then I don't want to be speaking with you anyways. Like if you're in a leadership role abusing power, you shouldn't be in leadership. And so I would say getting results, it's to have a healthy soul means you have the character that will care for the people and help the people under you thrive so that you can get even better results through your team than any type of stick or agenda or manipulative. You got to get, yeah, and I get it. You got your quotas and all of that. I get you got to hit numbers, but um, the more you shepherd folks, look after your people, and do lead them from a place of health, that is like a multiplier. That is not a soft skill, soft leadership. That can actually, I think that can exponentially increase the type of results you get through people. Also, a good question, man.
Hmm. So tell us, what is all about your upcoming book, Mr. Joshua?
Yeah. Clarify you. So this is actually born out of a season where I was in leadership. I was leading multiple departments, multiple groups. I mean, I think I had, I mean, I had several hundred people under my direct leadership. And I hit what I call a stuck spot. I was just spinning my wheels in life and in leadership. I don't know if you've ever been driving and you get stuck in the mud
Mm-hmm.
and you're revving the engine, the tires are spinning, you're going nowhere, man. It's like a lot of energy output, no results. Well, not no results, just not the results you should be seeing for the level of energy you're putting out. And I was right there, man. And if you stay there long enough, that becomes stress, that becomes anxiety, that becomes discouragement, that even becomes depression and hopelessness. If you stay there long enough where you're stuck as a leader, man, it's tough, man, because people are relying on you. You feel the weight, and that's right where I was, man. And so I found a coach. I found a mentor, a coach, and he walked me through this journey that I now walk people with through a self-awareness journey, really just using some of the skills of emotional intelligence to one, grow in self-awareness, to identify like where those gaps are, where are those blind spots that are really sabotaging you, because all of us have strengths and weaknesses, right? But sometimes we don't understand like how much even our strengths that we're overusing and our weaknesses that are really kind of like liabilities that are kind of sabotaging all the work we're doing. And so finding those skill gaps in those growth areas that, man, if we put a plan in place, we grew in these areas, we started operating in some different ways, it really unlocks that next level of confidence, effectiveness. And man, I got clarity on me, on where I needed to grow and what I was doing wrong. And it just unlocked that next level, man. It really, really did. And I was so, it changed my life so much that I built my own coaching course around it. It's called Clarify You. We're launching our next group on January 21st. If you or your audience is interested, you can go to my website. There's um, there's a link on there. I have great info about it. And then I wrote a book about it, man, because like not everyone is able to jump into a 12-week coaching course, and so I distilled it down into a book. Um, Clarify you how to get unstuck, live with purpose, and lead with courage. And it's really about the blind spots, those sabotaging factors. And if we get those things fixed, if we get the right things in place, man, it unlocks a whole new level of potential in people, man. And so, yeah, that's what my book Clarify You is about. It's available on risingleadership.org/ebook as a free download because it's not published yet. And so if anyone wants to download it, read it, write a review, I'll do a free coaching session with them just as a thank you, man, because, Lord willing, it's going to be published later this year in 2026.
So, Mr. Joshua, to wrap up our discussion for today, if you could instill one principle of soul leadership in every emerging leader today, what would it be and why?
Man, that is a powerful question. If I could instill one leadership of leading from the soul, what would it be? I would say this: don't wear masks. It's probably the most. It's probably the message that never gets spoken, and it's a Jesus's message where he's rebuking the scribes and the Pharisees, and he says, "Woe to you, you hypocrites!" He says that over and over again, and that word hypocrites means mask wearers, you who are acting. And too often when we get into leadership or we're trying to get results, we start wearing those masks and we don't lead with integrity and authenticity. And I would just say, man, just be yourself in leadership, live with integrity, lead with integrity, because like I said, it's not worth gaining the world but losing your soul. So live and lead with integrity, and you will not regret that.
Yes, and truly, truly empowering, Mr. Joshua. And can you please invite our listeners to support your upcoming book, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Daniel. So you can follow me on Instagram. Joshua Delp is my handle. You can go to risingleadership.org. And I've got really three ways you can work with me. One, you can download the ebook and just avail yourself with these concepts. Two, join Clarify You. Our next coaching group, is launching January 21st. And then lastly, I've got Risen Men. It is a weekly online coaching and accountability community for men looking to level up in life and in leadership through becoming men of self-respect, strength, and service. And so if any of those are up your alley, love you to join.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Joshua Dahl because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering advocacy like this to rise. So, Mr. Joshua, thank you so much for your time.
It was such a pleasure. Thank you.
Welcome, people. See you soon.